Oh, Ethan, so we're going to watch the last 2 episodes of Haunting of Hill House.
Oh my God, girl. Tell me all about it.
It is everything. It is everything. And it was so funny because I actually went to, because everything that we had asked questions about, like just me and my niece talking, was like confirmed. I went on the internet and other people were asking those same questions, like,
Really?
how come Steven wasn't there, like in a lot of the flashbacks for the kids' stories, and we were like, what's going on with him? Whenever they went to Clara talking about, I found this in the toy room, I found this in the game room, and she was like, what toy room? What game room? And I was like, what?
Trying to avoid spoilers.
Oh no, okay, yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. And so...
Have you watched it, Phil?
I'm only up to episode 4.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I will say so this won't be a huge spoil. Well, okay, I will say there was a moment. I'll say this. There was a moment that was completely earned in one of the later episodes, and we were like, it was one moment we were like, ah! But it was great. It was absolutely fantastic.
Think of which one that you're talking about, but message me.
Okay. Oh, yes.
But, yeah, no. So, well, Phil, you've seen my favorite episode, which is episode 3. And I absolutely, my favorite character is, well, besides the Whoopi in Luke, is Theo.
I love Theo.
I want a show just about Theo.
Just about Theo. What a fantastic, phenomenal character.
Okay, Phil, I don't think you've gotten to the one that was the turning point for me.
No.
And, oh, shoot. Okay, Phil, you need to catch up, Philip, so that we can talk about it. Because there was one where I just had to sit down and be like, oh my God. Like, oh my God. Where do we go from here? Like, God dang. And I think you know what I'm talking about, Ethan. Wait, let me...
Yeah, where are you messaging me? Discord or here?
Yeah, a Discord.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, no, it's just, what a phenomenal show.
Right?
At first I was like, I don't know what to expect here, but my friend was like, Ethan, you need to see this show. It actually scared me. Like, it actually had, like, I was like, oh, okay. Because, like, she doesn't get scared at anything. We love watching horror stuff together. So the fact that she was recommending it, oh, yeah. And then afterwards,
yes!
Oh, yeah. Yeah! That one. Yeah. And then the monologue.
Oh, everything.
Completely destroyed me.
And then all of the directing ticks, because there was one scene where Theo and her sister, I always forget her sister, Cheryl, were talking to each other, and I said, this seems very off. And I was reading about it later, and they were saying that the frames were flipped. Yes, yeah. And I was like, this looks crazy, and I couldn't.
The line of action.
Yes.
When you cross over the line of action or whatever, like that's when like it, and that's exactly what they did, and it's to make you feel like super off put.
Oh man!
Continue watching because you haven't gotten to the best episode, which is episode 6.
Woo!
It's done in 3 takes.
Oh wow.
A 60-minute episode was done in 3 takes.
Oh, okay.
It was in 3 scenes, rather. 3 scenes, they did it. So there are 3 specific cuts. Or I suppose it's 4 scenes, 3 cuts. They cut 3 separate times. The rest of it, they literally had to build in the house an open plan so that they could run the camera through the whole place. Because that's what they do in episodes.
So that whole show is wild. Like, but I would watch it again. I will probably, once we get done, I'll probably be watching it again.
You have to go back and find all the ghosts.
Yes, exactly.
They be hiding everywhere.
It's so good. Okay, we gotta get started. But yeah, y'all need to watch Haunting of Hill House. I also watched You, which is a hot mess, crazy, hot pants, crazy. And what I loved about You was that there were times where you're like, not necessarily rooting for him, but you're like, well, They were terrible people.
I have no idea what You is about. Do you think that I would enjoy, or...
It's fun. Fun, Lord.
It's a stalker show.
Huh?
This guy, like, stalks this girl that he just met and then, like, completely obliterates her life. Basically, from what I see from the trailer.
But she's...
like 20 minutes into it, and then, like, I was, like, not in the setting where you can watch this without being, like, oh, I can't just watch this in front of anybody. And it was like, oh, okay.
Well, it's one of those things where you watch it and you're like, oh, this guy, because of course he uses like her social media and all this stuff to track her down. And so then you're like, oh, so many people are on social media and social media is ruining lives. But then you're like, he goes into her house, he finds her apartment, he's in her shower at some point, like he's crazy. And so he gets more and more ingrained into her life. But she is just a trash bag of a person, and she has trash bag friends. And so the people that he starts exercising from her life are trash bag people. So on one hand, you're like, oh no, this is terrible and a gross invasion. But on the other hand, these are terrible people. And maybe...
And on the other hand, it's freaking murder.
Yeah, maybe not so bad. But then on the other hand, you're kind of killing people.
I haven't watched enough of this show to know whether I want this to be a steric fic or a Steeder.
Right, exactly. No, definitely Steeder. Definitely Steeder. Because, so then the crazy thing is, you have people...
Theo.
Maybe Theo.
Yeah.
You have crazy things like Millie Bobby Brown tweeting about, oh, you guys, he's not crazy. He's in love with her. I haven't finished the whole season, but he's in love with her. And I'm like, oh, first of all, honey, finish the season. Second of all, stop tweeting because you're already on thin ice.
Responses to the tweets? The actor that plays the stalker guy?
Penn Badgley.
Did you see his
No, what did he say?
He's just like being really kind of like friendly, sarcastic to these people, talking about how great the character is and how much they love him. And he's like, you get that he's a stalker, right? You get that he's unhealthy. But like he's doing it in this very comedic way, but like checking people that
like you clearly haven't watched the rest of it.
But you should know this is so wrong and bad.
Because what they're also doing that's really good in the show, you can tell that people are just watching like the first few episodes. Because then there's also a child element where the kid is getting abused. And so he's helping this kid who's getting abused. So they're making him have this humanity element. Plus, he has a history of abuse that's crazy. So you understand why he's this amount of crazy. But the problem is, because he's like this, he ends up grooming this little boy to be just as crazy as he is.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's nuts. But it's, so you're watching, you're like, ooh, this is great. But then as he gets crazier, he gets more and more ugly. And so that's why I'm like, I wish people would keep watching, because as you keep watching, you see him deteriorate as a person because of all the stuff that he's done. And so there's supposed to be a season 2, and I think that will be very interesting. But I do like the work that he's doing in it. The first season, that finale, I was like, ooh, y'all crazy. I was like, this is a situation that I would never be in. I was like, I can't do it.
You already watched The Bodyguard?
Oh yeah, I did watch it.
It was good.
I enjoyed it. It was very British, and
I'm hoping that people get made, but then I'm kind of wondering, like, I don't know if it'll ever live up to the first season.
Are they going to have a second season?
Well, they're talking about it. Like, the writer wants to do it, and what's his name, Robert Marsden?
No.
Richard Madden.
Richard Madden.
And the reason why I cannot with The Bodyguard is specifically because of Terrence Johnson.
What did he do?
Every time Richard Madden comes up on his timeline, he quote retweets and puts WMW. And I can't handle it.
But he's being honest. He's a white man's whore.
And then he would do anything.
Yes, he loves him some Richard Madden. He loves...
Johnson, is he a basketball player?
No, Terrence. Lenoir Artur. Our Terrence.
I was like, what?
Yes.
What?
He cracks me up.
And I'm just like, every time I see it, I'm just like sitting there with my hands and my head in my hands, and I'm just like, Terrence.
Speaking of which, someone sent in, and they do this every time, and it always cracks me up. People have been sending in their fake pet peeves, and I've just been kind of posting them here and there. And someone sent in, I hate when people, they'll talk about all this oral sex and, they went down a dude, but then they'll use a condom for anal sex. You can get STDs from oral sex too. And I was like, well, yeah, I get it though. And then Terrence retweeted, he was like, LOL. He just put, I was like, I don't know what to tell you on that one, homie. I was like, I ain't getting out.
I don't know why people bother with protection in fics. Unless it's like part of the storyline for some reason.
I'm like, especially if you're a werewolf. But unless you're like an Omega and you're about to get pregnant. I'm just like, otherwise, I don't care. Yeah, just like, well, okay. But yeah, that made me laugh a lot. I was like, I don't know what to tell you, homie. On that note, welcome everybody to Beacon Hills After Dark during the day edition. We post Beer Live watch. I, of course, am Sticky Keys. Joining me in the hot seat is involuntary co-host Ethan. Say hi, Ethan.
Hi, everybody.
Yay, so glad to have you, boo. And, of course, involuntary permanent engineer Philip. Say hi, Philip.
Hey, everybody.
Yay. We had a good time this morning. I actually enjoyed that quite a bit. It was a little long, but it's okay. The cuts were like wild.
Out of this world.
I'm like,
they were sending me to another planet.
I was like, dude, because I was like, so they started that competition in 1958, and then it was like 1970, and it was like Arnold won. I was like, wait a minute. Did he not win until 1970? Like, what happened? Like, there were some jumps and some cuts. Joe had some kids. Had some divorces and some marriages. I don't know what was going on. But yeah, it was alright. It was cute. Julianne Howe was giving it her all. I forgive her for Crazy Eyes.
When I first saw that she was going to be on there and I saw her part in the series, I was like, oh my god, what is this? But she did really good.
She did very well. I've been side-eyeing her for a few years. And recently, in fact, I hadn't paid attention to her for a very long time. And it wasn't until this movie that I actually started paying attention to her again. And I was like, I guess you've grown up a little bit. So I'm willing to let the past be the past. But, yeah, she understood her role perfectly. She knew how to play. I think, again, we have the generation of actresses when it comes to Tyler Hoechlin. Those who know how to play with the gay and those who don't. And Julianne Howe knows. I think that Alexandra will know. I think she'll do a really good job. And I think that Kate Bosworth is very capable, but I think she just didn't have it fully. And we lost some chemistry there when we were doing, the domestics. But I'll be interested to see kind of what his role will be in Afterlife or Another Life. What is it called?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think the problem with the Partridge was that they never really covered why they were split up in the first place. So you never really got to peg down what the...
For domestics?
For the domestics.
Yeah, we knew he was a loser. Basically, didn't he want to go to school? He wanted to be an architect.
He was a contractor.
He never did it. Yeah, he was just a loser, basically. And then the world would...
Was that it? Like, was that it? That he was just, like, didn't want any better in life? Because they don't really cover it. It's just like, oh... I mean, I get that he was boring.
Sometimes that's enough. And him being blatantly gay. So... Wild Among Wolves. Thank you. She's like, I had my laptop on mute. And it's like, I am muted, and the first thing I hear is, unless you're a mega about to go to heat. That's what you get on the podcast. Let's see. What other projects is... Oh, so that other one is already out. I don't know if that we'll be doing a live watch of that one, though.
Which one?
The Departures. Then Came You. Along Came Polly. What's it called?
I'll do it, but...
Another Life? Wait, what?
No,
the one about the airline.
the one with Sansa Stark. Arya. The one with Arya Stark.
Oh, Then
And-
Came You? Is that what it is?
Asa Butterfield. Yeah, Then Came You. That might be one that I'll play it, but I probably won't watch it.
So
we'll see.
that one looked like Tyler was going to be a
Briefly.
dick and then be inspirational instead.
Exactly.
Yeah, very briefly in it. So,
Yeah. Like, I pick on you because I love you. Give me a hug. And, But Titus Andromedon is in that movie. A lot of random people are in that movie. So,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what
What
happens.
was Nina doing in that movie?
Huh?
What was Nina doing in that movie?
Right. But Nina's in a lot of weird stuff, too. So I don't understand what's happening. Yeah. So let's start at the beginning of the week. Honestly, I can't even do that because my mind has been Swiss cheese all week long. I had a weird health thing happen and my body has just been in flux. And now it has been, hold on. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. So there was just a picture of Britt with Grant, with Graham I've been calling him Graham Crackers. I guess I don't know his real name. But I really like her dress, but her hair is a mess. And it just got messier the rest of the night.
Is she with the same guy that they were doing random comments on Instagram with, or is this a new guy?
This is the new guy. But
she went through the director, and now she's with... What's this guy?
Yeah, she went through the producer, but she's been done with the producer actually for quite a bit. She's been with the new guy. I've been calling him Graham Crackers because his Instagram is like Graham Bam Thank You Ma'am.
That's alright.
They're kind of perfect for each other.
What does he do?
He's an actor. He is in The Kaminsky Method currently on Netflix, and he's in, is it Dexter? He's in Ray Donovan. He's in Ray Donovan. And
I tried watching that.
Yeah.
And it is good.
Yeah, but I just don't care.
Yeah, like, I just didn't care for anyone in his family.
Yeah. I just didn't care. I was like, ugh, that's all right.
It was like White Man Scandal.
Pretty much. What is
This guy looks like... He looks like a graham cracker.
Exactly. And they're very silly. But he passed the Mets test. He took her on a tour of Mets Field. They got to go to the clubhouse, got her a monogram jersey, and the whole shebang. And so I guess they are for serious. And the bestie is 100% on board. She has been low-key shady. I've had a lot of different theories about Brillin and, their breakup and all that stuff. And the bestie did not help negate those theories when there was like a picture of her and Graham. I don't know his name. I'm so sorry. Here, let's see if I can find out. What's his name? Yeah, Britt has always been a Mets fan. And she's always been like hardcore Mets fan. Graham Rogers is his name. My God. He sounds like a douche.
He looks like one.
I know.
He looks like...
But he seems really sweet. They went to Australia and to the Philippines together. And so while they were there, so Julie, oh Lord, there's a lot. There's so much to happen. But she replied, there was a picture of them and she replied on the picture like, oh, so happy to see her smile, basically implying like this is the first time that I've ever seen someone that has made her smile like this before. And I'm like, oh.
Interesting.
I'm like, sis, this is 7 years.
Put that out into the fandom things, like really?
But all the stands were like, and I was like, oh, sistren. And she was like, loving this for my bestie. I was like, oh, snap, girl. So, oh no. So, bestie is on board and they are loving it. So I was like, okay. But, so it kind of started, Julia went home. They got spotted at the airport in Boston. And shortly after, Julia had made a post saying, my brother, thank you, Santa, for, making it so I could come home for Christmas. And then we saw the holiday pictures and we saw Dylan and Julia in California with Buddy and Clyde, which are Britt's dogs. And so while Britt and Graham were in Australia and, traveling for the holidays, Julia and Dylan were keeping Buddy and Clyde. And so, of course, everyone was like, half the people were like, oh, they're still friends and they're still friendly. Half the people were like, oh, are they getting back together? And everyone was like, clearly not. She's, with her boyfriend in Australia and blah, blah, blah. It was a mess. And, let's see. What else has been going on? Okay, so the biggest part is, so we still have the lock thread, and it is still locked. And I'm going to tell you guys exactly why, and we're going to see if we can kind of come to a solution with kind of what to do.
Just so you guys know, I also have no idea why this channel is locked.
Yeah.
She did not tell me that she's been stringing me along until right this moment with all of y'all. So if any of y'all start thinking about getting smart and complaining, I had to wait too.
Yes. I was like, I'm going to tell this story once. And same with Ethan. Ethan don't know either.
I have no idea what's happening right now. So I'm excited.
I was like...
It's baby thinks there.
Oh my God, you messy. Okay, so right now, I think it's still wise to keep the thread closed. I know a lot of people did take downloads, and I do have, downloads and copies and everything. I would suggest sharing it with each other through the back channels. And I'm more than happy to do that. I would not suggest posting it to Tumblr, Twitter, all that stuff.
So even on Discord, we can't have it?
I just would not. I would not right now. Unless you do it through DM.
Somebody to screenshot it. Some disgruntled server person to screenshot it and be like, look what BHAD's doing.
Well, that's why I closed it. And that's also why we got rid of one of the main components, because since we've gotten, even though it's been a short time since we've gotten rid of that, that has lessened. And specifically, and I actually knew it was going to happen. There was something that I released the other day. And I mean, it wasn't a big deal. And I said from Jump Street that it wasn't a big deal. But there was a pattern with the type of nannies that I was getting in the inbox, like specifically a butthurt one that kept being like, oh, you're a fraud and all this other stuff. And I'm like, a fraud of what? Like, what are you even complaining about? Like, I don't know what you want, you know? And I guess someone informed them of what I posted, but didn't give them the whole story. So they came in the inbox trying to act like they knew what happened, but they were slightly wrong on some of the details. So I'm like, A, now I know exactly who you are. And B, now I know that you're not here. So now I know that we probably won't have that problem again. But also, please stop talking to this person because it's just making it worse for them. Because they are now in this spiral. So hopefully they get the rest that they need to, you know, stop being so obsessed. Let's see what else has happened. Hoechlin was at the pre-SAG party with Joe Mazzello. So that was a lot of fun supporting for the Bohemian Rhapsody movie, which I still haven't seen, but looks interesting. Let's see. Adam Lambert is shooting some video, I think, for Bohemian Rhapsody, and I think Rami Malek makes a cameo in it. And they have some outtakes on Adam's Instagram. It's actually a lot of fun, so you should check that out. What am I missing, you guys? I know I'm missing something. I'm sure there was something else Bay related. Oh, did you see the picture, Ethan, of him at Harry Potter World? Justin Duff?
No, I didn't see that one, but I did see all of the mess in our inbox about the Spielberg stuff. I saw people posting, and I was like, what on earth is this nonsense?
Yes.
It has no context for anything happening. But no, I haven't seen the Harry Potter World stuff.
Oh, my God.
People saying he's a Potterhead and stuff like that. I'm like, ugh.
He's a Harry Pothead is what he is, but he went to Universal Studios to Harry Potter World, and but he stopped by the Simpsons World first and bought like a bunch of Duff gear, and then dressed all in that.
It was all decked out. It was like, I don't want to carry these bags. I'm just going to put it all on.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
It was so funny, and he looked so good. What about AG? No, BBS. I don't know what you're playing at, but I'm sure it's ridiculous.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I got to go. I got company hurt.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. Let me send you this first. Wait. Just check the chat thread, and then you'll see it, and it's amazing. I posted the live.
Oh my
He's got the wand and everything. So cute.
All right.
All right, go do your thing. Later. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Bye. All right, MoPro. Oh, Monster Problems. Yes, is confirmed to start shooting in 8 weeks in Australia. Hoechlin will also be in a convention in Australia around that time. But I think, is that the one he's going to be at with Posey?
Yeah.
I know. But, God, we'll see.
Do you think he'll cancel when he finds out that WEC gets paid more?
I don't know. I honestly don't know what's going to happen.
Like, he'll pretend that he has the promo for Apocalypse Now.
For Apocalypse Now, that's what I'm wondering. Is will he find a way to be like, oh, I have to do something for Apocalypse Now. And it's like, you're getting killed in the first episode.
I mean, you know they're going to milk it anyway. Because he did, I mean, you look at granted, the trailer only has, 250,000 views?
Mm-hmm.
More than half of those comments are all about Posey.
Yeah, they, or like Avon Evidently he was on... What show was he on? Was it Victorious?
It was that cat one.
Someone said it in the thing.
Like 9 Lives or something like that?
Oh, the 9 Lives of something.
He was in Victorious and he was in Twisted.
Okay.
And Tut.
The sweatshirt vid. What's that?
And that's pretty much anything.
Oh, yeah. No, that's okay. Yeah, but to say what else is happening. I
am concerned the way Posey stands are overly invested in making this all about Posey, because I just think it's not good for the show. Like, I mean,
no, that's on them. Because what they'll do is see, their issue is, we get on them all the time about, because instead of making things about Posey, they end up making it about Dylan. So now they're trying to make it about Posey, but really they're making it like, see, this is Posey and not your guy. Whoever your guy happens to be at that point.
Yeah, it's not like really, really obvious shade, but it's just the same people who've been going on about not erasing a lead and not erasing a person of color are literally replacing Avon, the lead of this show, who we don't even have an episode to know whether he's engaging or not.
Exactly.
To act like, oh, you don't matter, let me stick my fave in there.
Yeah.
I am surprised that it was actually Skiles that they did it with instead of Skio.
Right.
But I don't think Cody has ever been in anything futuristic that you could shoehorn in there.
And yeah, they got lucky with Weird City. I'm surprised they even acknowledged Weird City, though. So it's just like, whatever.
Well, I know. I read something where someone was like, "Oh, do you think all the Sterics will, eat their words when they made fun of Posey for being in a YouTube show, and now Dylan's going to be in a YouTube show?" And I was just like, okay, being a side character in an episode of a YouTube series.
Of a webisode.
It's different than being in a YouTube series under Jordan Peele with an A-list cast where it's an anthology.
Exactly.
The whole episode is dedicated between you and another actor.
Again, it's just them making...
Of an episode and barely a supporting character. Like, there's no comparison.
It's just them making unnatural comparisons. Because, again, at this point, there's really nothing that they can say. Like, we have...
with monster problems, and it's going to be like, one is a TV show where Posey dies, and the other one is the lead role in a movie.
Right, exactly. I'm just like, and one is a Spielberg project. Like, we worked with Spielberg, like, you can't tell me anything at this point. You can tell me nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like, you lose. And
Spielberg, sure. He's totally failing.
And there was some anon that was like, well, how do you know, what makes you think that people, that Dylan has anything to do with those hits? And I'm like, did you look at the comments? Because that will tell you everything you need to know. Every single, I won't say every single, I won't give them that. But I will say at least 75% of the comments had something to do with either I'm only here for Dylan, or at the very least, if not that, it was, who is this Dylan kid? Do I need to watch for him?
Yeah, but a lot of people were actually pretty good about it, where they're like, I saw Dylan and I clicked it and now I love everything.
Exactly.
Because Dylan fans know how to appreciate the project.
Yes. And that's the thing about it is Dylan fans will watch that entire series. Knowing that Dylan is in the first episode, they will watch the entire thing.
It's like, just because we stare at something doesn't mean we can't appreciate the original work just as much.
Exactly. Oh, man.
Apocalypse Now trailer.
How much is it up to now? I think we hit 3 million.
Weird City trailer. Okay, Apocalypse Now is at 240,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
So it hasn't grown that much. Apocalypse, Weird City is about to hit 3.2 million.
That is nuts! Oh, dilly. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Like, more than 10 times.
And I just love that. I love that, because after his little video, he was just like, oh, am I going to find another job? And what am I going to do? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Dylan.
Oh my God. They took that so seriously.
It was
like,
so funny.
It's a parody. Come on.
Exactly. Like, none of that was real. But, they came out and they were like, yeah, like, this was a script. Like, we stayed up until 3 a.m. doing this. There's at one point where he was talking and, I was like, there was no phone. Like, no one was talking to him. Well, he was talking to Liz. I'm like, no, dear. There's no one. Well, it's Bluetooth. It was cut. No, darling. It was so cute. I love it.
Are we going to talk about this movie?
Which one?
Bigger.
Oh. It was cute.
It's not good. But
it's all right.
It was not as bad as I was thinking it was going to be.
Exactly.
It was an easier watch for me.
Yeah. It was easier than Melvin.
Yes, but I expected Melvin to be dirt bad, and it was what it was.
Yeah.
This was almost an easier watch for me than Departures. Or no, what is it?
Domestics.
Domestics, because I just didn't like Domestics.
See, and I liked...
But again, Domestics was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
You know what it was? I felt that even though it was a starring role, I felt like Tyler Hoechlin was a supporting character in Domestics. It almost felt like it almost felt like he wasn't in it. I can remember maybe 3 scenes of him smoothing that film. And
he's wrestling in his boxers.
Well, no, but the 3 scenes I remember was him washing dishes with that dude when he was being told it was hamburger meat. Him on the bed with the bandage over his titties and the big old titties. And then, and then him resting in the bed. Maybe him in the car.
It's just, it was very much, she was the lead character.
But it just didn't feel like he was the lead character. Whereas in Bigger...
I don't think he was the lead character.
In Domestics? Well, in Domestics, though, he was supposed to be. Like, at least a co-lead.
Because it seems like everything's about her.
But, even
her
she
parents,
didn't seem...
Her feelings. She's the one who wants to travel. He's just doing all this for her. He's a supporting character to her.
Yeah. And
he's not even a co-lead because he has no wants or needs of his own.
Exactly. I just didn't get a feel for who he was at all. And so he just ended up being eye candy, which I'm like, okay, that's great. But then, I don't know. And so, at least in this one, he had presence.
Yeah, like I said, I was expecting a lot worse, which is why I'm I'm just surprised. But Colton was a lot better than I thought he was going to be.
Colton was better, but then again, that was kind of weird because I didn't understand
how he works into it.
I didn't understand what his purpose was at all. And I feel like you have to know that part of the story to understand that connection at all. They did not explain that one bit. Because I'm like, who is this guy to be like, hey, Joe, don't open a gym here. And then Joe's like, okay.
I think he was inspired to open a gym because of Joe. But then he was like, don't open a gym like in this section of town because then...
To be my competitor.
I all this money in this and there's no way I can compete against you.
But then I'm like, so why wouldn't they be why wouldn't they be business partners at that point? Why wouldn't they open a gym together?
Did he have capital at the time?
Well, he was trying to get a loan, but then, like, why wouldn't Hoechlin work through Jack's gyms? Why wouldn't Joe work through Jack's gyms?
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't understand why would Joe come into that area and be like, "Hi, Jacqueline, I'm going to open a gym. I'm going to be your competitor."
I don't know if it was like the first one, so he wanted to go see it.
But yeah, that's why I said,
fanboy.
that's why I said there's just no, that was a weird section where I feel like people who already knew what that was understood what that was. But for people who had no idea, I was like, this makes no sense to me.
There's too much thinking involved in this movie.
And then Hoechlin went on his little mind thing where he was obsessed with Betty while Jack was explaining it. And I was like, no, don't fade out. Like, he's actually explaining this. And then I was like, oh God, we're never going to understand. And so Glitter, Weird City. I did want to talk about this. My dream scenario is that, okay, so I have lots of scenarios, but the one that I'm sticking with now is that I want Ed and, so Dylan is from the, what's it called? He's from below the line. One day, someone from above the line, they come excursioning to below the line. Let's say she has like a neutral name. Her name is like Dale or something like that. And she either meets someone below the line that she falls madly in love with, or she gets in the wrong crowd and she dies or something like that. Her ID, she loses it. And she is betrothed to some Richie Rich who is above the line, some arranged mated thing. Dylan's character is like, here's my chance to get out from below the line. So he grabs the ID, he hoofs it to above the line. He sees that he is betrothed to marry Ed Bundy. He goes and they get married and everything and blah, blah, blah. Well, somewhere down the line, they find out that there has been a mistake. And I think it has something to do with the dating app. So they're like, oh, all these matches that we made before, they're actually wrong. So this is supposed to be your mate, thinking that this is still Dale. And then this is supposed to be your mate. So now Dylan's kind of freaking out because he's like, this is my check. This is my money. Plus, I've been developing feelings for Ed Bundy. Now we got to go below the line so we can figure out, who engineered this program and where the glitch is and all this other stuff.
Who's Ed Bundy?
Ed O'Neill. The guy. I don't know what his name is in the show, but he played Ed Bundy. Who does he play on? Who does he play on Modern Family?
I don't know that.
The one, yeah, Sofia Vergara's husband. I don't know his name either. You guys, what's his name?
It's Ed O'Neill.
I know. Well, yeah, I know his name is Ed O'Neill in real life. I didn't know his name on Honor. But he played Ed Bundy on Married with Children. And that's the only other thing I know him from. Love and marriage, love and marriage. So that's my dream scenario. Huh?
The character's name is Jay Pritchett.
Jay, that's right, Jay. Jay! That was my Sofia Vergara. Jay! What do you think is going to happen? What do you think the story... His name is Stu Maxim. Jordan Peele reads fanfic.
Oh, another Stu.
Another Stu.
I don't know. I haven't thought about it a lot. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, just see what happens.
I was hoping that he would work with Rosario Dawson or Awkwafina.
That'd be cute.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think they're in the same match.
They're doing 2 stars per episode.
Mm-hmm.
But...
And it looks like they're above the line, but they do cross...
Instead of Ed O'Neill.
Huh?
I really wish she was working with one of them instead of Ed
I
O'Neill.
know. I did wonder about that, but it's a good start.
Coming up against Ed O'Neill is probably going to be iconic.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And I hope that he gets a scene with LeVar Burton. It kind of looked like LeVar Burton was in the background of one scene, like slumped in a chair. And I'm hoping that LeVar kind of pops up in every episode.
I don't know who LeVar is.
You know who LeVar Burton is. Reading Rainbow. Kunta.
I never watched that.
What? How did you not watch Reading Rainbow?
Because the song annoyed me.
How did you read as a child?
Yes, but I just didn't watch Reading Rainbow.
Oh my God.
I was like a Disney kid.
No, every kid grew up in PBS.
Yeah, the only thing I watched from PBS was like Arthur, I think.
Oh my God. Reading Rainbow is a staple. Well, you saw Kunta. You saw Roots. Oh, and Geordie LaForge. Star Trek. Next Generation.
Oh, Geordie.
Yeah. I love LeVar Burton. But, I know, right? Isaac. Shut up, BBS.
BBS making fun of me.
No, he's saying that he hated Reading Rainbow because he's the devil.
Oh.
But he plays
I am interested. Honestly, I am excited that he has these projects because they're all in very different directions and they give him a little taste of everything. I am not the most excited. Like, Weird CD will be cool and I'll watch it, but I'm not like, oh my God. Monster Problems. I don't like apocalypse movies.
Mm.
So, I mean, that is another reason why I didn't like Departure. Domestics.
Oh, okay. See, and I don't mind them. I like them.
I usually hate them. Like, there's that Steric fic where there's, like, zombies and, like, Steric has a thing. And I avoided reading that for so long until I realized there was more to it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I passed that for so long. The Education of Fitzel.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Fitzel, that one could be interesting, but I just have no idea what it's about.
Yes, I am ready for that one. It's like timeline overlap and crazy and it looks like a psychological thriller.
About the most. I'm also interested in remember that Vin Diesel link up?
A little bit. Yeah.
With some superhero Cyclops movie or something like that?
Yeah.
Even though working with Vin Diesel is kind of like 50-50.
Exactly.
It'll become the next thing or it'll fail hard.
Horribly, yeah.
But I've never seen anyone do anything with Vin Diesel and then be punished for it.
That's true. Either it just kind of fades away.
Yeah, like people just pretend it didn't happen.
Exactly.
Like what was that Witch Slayer movie he did?
Right.
Like, people just pretend it didn't happen, but there was a lot of good people in it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Interesting. So yeah, I do like the choices that he's making.
They're very smart choices, even if they're not exactly what I want.
Well, they're not mainstream, and I like that he's kind of staying away from establishing like a romantic kind of thing where he's not trying to be a heartthrob. And I think that what I really think he needs to do though is he needs to establish some roles that do endear him to people. So he's going to need to find something like in a comedy angle, even if it's like a dark comedy or something like that where people can kind of laugh with him, or he needs to do like his sports movie, something kind of feel good or USA, that kind of thing.
Him as an adult. I think American Assassin is a good step.
Mm.
And then these other projects are all very good steps in very different directions.
Right.
And I think they'll pull in a lot of different people for him. So even if they're not the projects I want,
mm-hmm.
I think it's a very smart decision.
Yes, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see which way he goes. Now, Hoechlin, again, I just need
him to take anything he's offered.
We did. Well, someone sent that as an ask. They're like, oh, how do you think that Hoechlin's manager, how do you think he sold Bigger to him? how do you think he promoted it to him? And I was like, he was probably like, hey, Ty, I have a job for you. Like, do you want this money? Again, when we say this every year with Hoechlin, I need him to be like, here's what I want to do. Here's what I'm interested in.
They just wasted so much time when he was young.
Yeah.
And so now he's like in the in-between. He's not old.
Oh, definitely.
But he's not young. Like, there's no baby fat on him anymore.
Yeah.
He's like in that in-between place. The Departures movie that became called, what is it now?
Then Came You. Well, he's doing dads now. He's doing dads and husbands.
Well, that's older brother, no?
But he's also a dad and a husband in that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's married to a black girl. He's married to, like, black girls in a couple movies. I'm like, okay, this can be your niche. But, but yeah, he's like...
I just don't get why. But I was like, cheesy romantic comedies should have been his bread and butter.
Oh, should have been. Like, yeah, this thing with Alexandra should have happened like 5 years ago. And that's when I'm like, what happened that... Or not what happened, I think
MTV had a lot to do with it. I think they promised them these huge things, and then it turned out to not turn out. And then...
Well, no, I think... And I mean, this gets into the Bryan Singer of it. This gets into the Me Too of it. But him leaving the end of season 4 was not planned, and it was not coincidental. Whatever did happen changed the trajectory of his career. What has happened that he has not been able to recover from that? And it's just like... And then whatever the CW is doing with the Superman thing is really hurting him. And I don't know who's dropping the ball on this.
What it looks like is they don't have faith in him, when in reality,
exactly,
they're too scared about the blowback that they'll get from tanking Supergirl
from DC. Exactly, when it's not him at all.
But the only ones who will understand that is fandom.
Exactly. And so that's why I'm like, the message that they're putting out is not the right one. And so it's doing him more harm than it is good at this point. And I'm like, you either need to cut ties or they need to put up. Like, but that's the problem. It's like, okay, Hoechlin, you're at a prime position where you can be like, hey, I'm your moneymaker. You need to invest in me. But then it's like, does he feel like, A, does he want to do that? Is that what he wants? And B, does he believe in himself enough to go and get that? Because I'm like, he could do that. Is he just
hoping that they'll throw him his own CW show? Even if it's not Superman?
I feel like he feels like they're going to give it to him, like he doesn't have to go get it. But I'm like, you're going to have to go get this because they're not...
I have noticed that CW is ticking the older mark again.
Yeah.
Because Roswell is late 20s, early 30s.
Yes, exactly.
Dynasty was that age range as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they have one or two other originals that are coming out. The Charmed girls are like college to late 20s.
And they're starting because
that in between market.
But their casting is even a little bit older than that. And so even though they're playing like these younger roles, and so now you're getting into the nostalgia where it's like you're playing to people who were coming to age in the 90s. And so you're wanting kind of these older people like in their 30s and in their late 20s to kind of be representative.
Was the Buffy revamp supposed to go to CW or is it going to Netflix?
Oh, that I'm not sure. I know the Veronica Mars one is going to Hulu. And that's going to be this summer.
That's going to be an actual sequel, not a reboot, right? Like, is it with Kristen Stewart?
Yeah, it's a continuation, yeah. I'm excited for that one. And so, yeah, I'm just like, I I want to know what he wants so I can want good things for him. It's like, I want to want good things for you, but I don't know what you want, so it's like, ugh, good. But yeah, I feel like, because the Superman thing should be a lock for him, and it's makes no sense that it's not.
But I just, I don't even know.
Or at the very least, that they don't have him for anything else, because then what else happens is, so you're like, okay, you won't give me Superman, but now because now you have me on the back burner, where I come to Superman every 2 years, I can't be in I can't be another CW property as anyone else.
As a superhero,
yeah. Exactly. I can't be in anything else.
And if he goes towards DC, one, there's no money in that yet because they're running their own streaming service.
Exactly.
And two, the minute he goes to DC, if they're willing to do that, they're never going to cast him as Superman ever again. They'll piss off both of them. The thing is, I think what he's hoping for is he gets a Chris Evans.
Yeah. But I don't know if he can handle it.
Chris Evans was, what's his name, Firestorm?
Yeah. Johnny
Storm?
Yeah.
It becomes a background character almost.
But he was that when he was, 20...
But once you're Superman, where do you go from there?
He was that when he was 20 something.
He was very young.
Yeah. And Hoechlin's not going to go through that training again. God dang. He barely wants to do Superman training. So it's like, dude.
Well, what's the point? You're going to get 2 episodes a year at best.
Johnny Storm, thank you, Guy. So yeah, it's a mess. So the next convention is going to be Wizard World in Portland, February 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Melissa and Tyler. Stella Maeve is going to be there. I wonder if she'll be there with BJ Watts. I still can't believe that they're dating.
That is so weird.
It's so crazy.
Did you finish The Magicians?
Not yet. I'm trying to wait so we can...
season just started last week.
I know. And then I still haven't finished season 3 because I've been trying to wait so when we get done with the stupid rewatch. We will do an episode of the rewatch this week. I just don't know what day yet. I'll let y'all know. And, yeah. Oh, and I have some other news. So, don't leave before, after we get off, so tired. Philip. I'm going to take a nap. Do we have any other news? Yeah, so the next live watch will definitely be Weird City. Unless we get something before that. But yeah, that'll be around Valentine's Day, I think. So I'm super, super excited for that one. And that one will probably run a few times. Do you think they'll be half-hour? They'll probably be half-hour eps. Although I hope they're hour eps.
Oh, I wonder. I mean, I would hope that they're at least 45 minutes.
I know. I hope so. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
I've never seen anything on YouTube Red before, so...
Neither have I. Yeah, so we'll check it out. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Ooh, I think this is the shortest one ever.
Yes, which Ryan are we talking about? Oh, the one on here. Okay, never mind. I thought we were talking about Ryan Kelly. He's been posting pics again. Looks like he's toning down on the bodybuilding and growing his hair out again.
Yes, thank goodness.
Very cute.
To both of those, exactly, because his hairline was making me very sad. So,
yeah.
Very glad. Speaking of which, this Zac Efron movie about Ted Bundy, that looks wild. Evidently, Kaya Scodell.
Some people won't cast him in anything for a while.
Right.
It's like, I don't want to work anymore.
I'm mad. I love it. Eurovision, my God. Yeah, y'all go do that. All right, everybody, we will talk to you later. Have a good night. Say good night, Philip.
Good night, everybody.
Night, everyone. Bye.